Ajay, you came to car sales from a large corporate environment.
Yes.
What do you see as the main difference between the way IT was conducted at car sales and Fairfax?
Firstly, whenever I look at IT, I very much look at business in IT. So for me, very much the business culture should be the IT culture. And when I look at the two organizations, my previous organization was very much a media, large corporate organization. Car sales, on the other hand, is not a media organization. At least I don't view it as a media organization. I very much view car sales as a product organization. We take a lot of pride in knowing our customers, whether it be car customers or bike customers, boat customers, industry, business-to-business customers. We take pride in knowing individual verticals, and we take pride in knowing the buy and sales process in that individual vertical. So say cars, for an example, there are some intricacies involved in buying and selling a car, and it's very important to know all the steps along the way and what makes it easy for the consumer and for the seller. And that's really how we operate our organization. It's not about advertising with car sales.
Okay.
It's about selling. Whereas traditionally I've seen media organizations in general tend to concentrate a lot more on advertising rather than selling. That's not to say they're not reinventing the way they do things, but that's really traditionally been the way they conduct business. And a lot of these media organizations that come from more traditional medias tend to concentrate on more defensive plays rather than launching into the internet and more the new media.
Okay, so there seems to be some fairly major differences between the two. Which do you prefer?
Look, to be honest, the way I look at it, I was very happy when I worked in the previous organisation, which was Fairfax, and I'm very happy working here as well. It's a different organisation rather than necessarily a judgment on what's better or not. Right now, I must say, however, I certainly prefer car sales. I have a lot more freedom in making changes at car sales. I have a lot of freedom in making a difference, and that probably takes me to a point. It's exactly the way I hope everyone who works at car sales feels. Ownership is something that I believe is a very big characteristic in making organisations successful.
Sure.
And especially,
it's the key to driving.
It certainly is the key to driving, and especially organisations that are internet-based or new media-based. People is probably the biggest asset we have.
Sure.
And concentrating on those characteristics, the attitudes that we expect from our different people is very important. And I would rate ownership as one of the top 5 or 6 characteristics that I always look for when I hire people, and that's very much always been, I believe, car sales' culture.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you give us a rundown of the technical environment here at car sales?
Sure. So in terms of our software development environment, we have a lot of Microsoft-based applications. We develop a lot of our consumer applications or consumer websites in .NET. We have, however, our consumer side of the business is only one side of the business. We also have a very large trade side of the business,
sure,
where we look after the way sellers, i.e. our trade sellers, which is car dealers, boat dealers, marine dealers, etc., the way they take a lead from the internet and convert that to a sale. We concentrate a lot on that part, and that part of the technology is Oracle and Java based.
Okay, fantastic. And on the .NET side, are you in Framework 3.5 at the moment?
Yes, we are, and we're always looking to upgrade when the time is right for us. I believe in being on the cutting edge, but not on the bleeding edge.
Sure.
So if someone needs to to make some mistakes and then put some posts up and tell us what mistakes they've made with their implementation. That's usually quite good for us.
Sure.
But there is a cost to lagging behind too much, and therefore it needs to be carefully balanced, and we tend to balance that reasonably well.
Sure. So you're always looking to weigh up the options and move forward if it's in the best interest of the business.
Yes, absolutely. And again, you come to an important point. It's never an IT decision, it's always a business decision.
Sure.
And if the business decision is upgrading a particular technology is right for us, then we do that. If it's not right for us, we don't do that.
Yeah, sure. And do you believe that's where some businesses can get in trouble when they upgrade for the sake of upgrading?
I absolutely think that, and I believe there are many purists, if I can use that word, where people do think about homogeneous technologies or latest releases or latest design patterns, and they've hit the market, therefore we must use that. That's very much a technology decision and a technology way of taking that decision.
Sure.
Whereas I strongly believe there is nothing called a technology decision. It is a business decision. It just so happens that technology is our business. Therefore, technology has a big bearing on the decisions we take.
I suppose that's where a CIO has to have the crossover and have the business background rather than just the technical side, isn't it?
I think it's an important point. I look at that as both backgrounds as equally important.
Yeah.
I've had several commercial leadership roles in the past. In fact, I still lead some commercial aspects of car sales business. As part of the role, and that provides me with a good blend of technology versus business backgrounds. CIOs who only have technology backgrounds can tend to be more purists. It's not always the case, and it shouldn't be generalized, but there is more likelihood, I believe, to take technology decisions if you only have a technology background. On the other hand, if you only have a business background, that can also let you down, and you can take decisions without understanding the feasibility or understanding the concerns of your team.
Sure.
Of a particular decision that you have. So a blend is, I believe, is perfect for at least companies that where technology is the main part of the business.
Sure.